Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast. We'll be bringing raw and unfiltered energy for each movie and TV show that we will be reviewing. Just think of it as turning your movie group chat into a podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jazz.
I am Jason. And man, per usual, I got some house rules I want to run through with you. So let's get started. One, we will be spoiling this review. So if you haven't seen it, you haven't watched it, please stop, go check it out, and then come listen to this review. Number two, please like, share, subscribe. Let your friends know, let your church members know, let your family know what we are doing over here at the Was It Good Though podcast. Number three, have fun. We just kicking shit, having fun with my friends. That's what we do. And last but not least, this is not a kid-friendly podcast. So if you're watching with your kids, that's something on you that has nothing to do with us. Let's get to this review.
Outside of people that watch appreciate
it. What's good, people? We are back. We're back together. This review will be one that we're doing together because we have a big weekend. Of course, we're going to talk about a big movie. Marvel is back. Marvel is back. I don't know where it went.
Where did it go for everybody that's saying that it's back?
6 years. Six years they have said. Is it 6? No, is it 7? Endgame came out in 2019 or 18?
2000. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember, but
7 to 6 years, people have said that Marvel has lost it and has lost the steam, and everything that they like every year, it's back. It's Shang-Chi, it's back.
Ooh, it's Multiverse of Madness, it's back.
It's No Way Home,
it's back. They didn't say that for Thor: Love and Thunder, but I get it. That was it. You failed a grade during that one, but you know.
There are shows where I understand, but you can't win them all. But they have a lot of pretty decent wins, in my opinion. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was good.
Yep.
Wakanda Forever was good.
Yep.
If y'all niggas went to go see Miss Marvel or the Marvels, I personally think that was good too. But hey,
yep,
that's my opinion. But today, episode 154, we are discussing the Thunderbolts asterisk. We got to get into that and everything around it. But did I even introduce us?
Nope. We just went straight into y'all people that's been selling this bullshit of Marvel being gone. We forgot to think about ourselves.
But we will get into that. What's good, people? This is the Was It Good Though podcast about movies and TV shows. I am one of your hosts. I am Jason.
I am Jazz.
And as we said, we're getting into the Thunderbolts, the latest from Marvel Studios. Jazz, what was your anticipation for this film when it was initially introduced?
I took it as a MCU Suicide Squad. Just their own version of it. But it had a few people that I appreciated. You know, Yelena is coming back. She keeps stealing everybody's movie, pulling a Wanda, like Wanda did in Multiverse of Madness, and pulling a her like she did in Black Widow. So I was pretty excited for it, but I wasn't exactly sure if this movie was going to be that big piece to set us up for Doomsday. It definitely, the end was like, okay, the post-credit, yes, very good post-credit scene. But from the questions that I had leaving Captain America 4, none of those were answered. I don't know how Bucky got his half term or how he even got in there at any point. But
so within that, because you did mention that as we were leaving the theater, what questions did you have?
So the power broker, like Sharon, is Sharon gone because Steve went and finally smashed Peggy and Sharon, her life just got altered and she was never born? Is that what it is?
So that would, those two things have nothing to do with each other. Because Sharon was her niece.
I know. But, you know, the slightest change in history can change a large trajectory. That's all I'm saying. But
But
the
in-
power broker.
But in the MCU, him changing his fate shouldn't have affected her in any way. It's not supposed to, according to
Unless Peggy hooked up Sharon's mama with
Mhm.
somebody, but now Peggy didn't go out with Sharon's mama that night because she was at home with Steve. So Sharon's mama never met her daddy.
Steve, you fucking up homes.
And now Sharon ain't got one. And now we don't have a power broker, even though we saw them in a movie or show.
What other question did you have that wasn't answered?
So this, when all of this is going on in New York, I know we don't know who Peter Parker is, but where is Spider-Man? I just.
So to be fair, in the comic books that I have read,
Here we go.
I promise I'm not being that guy. But in the comic books, they have their own issues. Everybody has their own, and people don't pop up just because they're having a problem. And it may be cataclysmic. It may be as because just think about this. You watching these fantastic? How many heroes have popped up in Galactus and stepping through the world? Why these niggas ain't showing up at that point? If that's what we doing,
we can ask that next month when that movie comes out.
What's your thing?
Look, in the future, upcoming. I don't know the answer today. How did you feel about it when you walked into this film? Were you excited for it?
I really didn't know what to expect. You brought together a lot of people that Yelena, yes, I'm a Yelena fan. Like I said, she's stolen everything that she's been in Hawkeye, which I don't know if that was Marvel or whoever owns Marvel. That's fucked up that y'all tried to bring back Hawkeye and charge this man half the money. That's crazy. That's one of my favorite TV shows. That's one of my favorite Marvel shows.
So they probably said, look, the tariffs. So we can't pay you as much.
And he was a terrorist to his wife, I think. So maybe that may be the other part of it. No?
Like they always say, yesterday's price is not the same as today's price.
Yes.
So now sometimes that bitch might go up, might go down.
So what was Haley Stanfield's cost? I wonder what her price looked like.
Her price is high as hell today.
So they were gonna put him all the way, make him reserved in his own,
He might not be the forefront as he was before.
I mean, he has had a lot of stuff in the public eye. Like, I can see why they would maybe step back from him. I can see that. I can see that. Of course, we seen Bucky. He was in Captain America 4. Brave New World. He was also Falcon. Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I was excited to see Bucky. Was Bucky back in form to you, or is this still a shell of a man that you're used to seeing?
I forgot Bucky was in this movie. Listen.
Oh wow!
Listen.
He had a crazy scene though.
So Yelena stole this movie. If we were a band, it would be Yelena and the Thunderbolts.
You can't. Okay, so I can't say stealing because the movie
she took it in front of them, so that
she's the lead. It's not a secret that she's the lead of the movie.
So let me ask you this: with this kind of, I guess me going into it, I was like, okay, this is Bucky's team. He got them together. I understand Florence Pugh is a major actress. Completely understand, which is why you put her at the forefront of everything. But I thought Bucky was gonna be a bigger role and leader, but I didn't get that from him. This wasn't his team.
It's not. I mean, that may have been what the expectation, but they subverted that. And they let Yelena be the leader, which we knew she was going to. I felt as if her coming into this, she's gonna be one of the biggest female leads when it comes to a Marvel anything. She's not a small time name. Not that Sebastian Stan is.
I was gonna ask you, is that fair to Bucky? Because he's been there since day one.
Is it fair to him? I can't say if it's fair, but I feel as if he plays his role and he doesn't care. As long as he can play Winter Soldier, I don't think he really cares what he does in that position. And they gave him enough to work with. He did. They gave him 2 big scenes. Maybe 3.
Let me ask this. Since we saw this and we saw Cap, and I asked this during our Cap review, y'all check that out. Can Bucky carry a movie solo? Bucky today. Bucky Barnes, can he carry a movie solo today?
I think that's one of the most. I think that's one of those anticipated moments. So I do think he can. His acting. He has as an actor, he's progressively. I didn't know he was in Hot Tub Time Machine, so that is already blowing my mind. But from where he was then to today, like just the stuff that he's done outside of Marvel is incredible, and that's one of those. I mean, there's other ones, but as far as like the heroes or the people that's been in Marvel the entire time, of course you got the guy that plays Loki. He does a great job. Chris Evans has been going outside of the pretty boy good guy roles here lately, so I enjoy seeing that. But you got Elizabeth Olsen, whatever she got going on. I don't know what one's doing.
She just dropped something with Natasha Lyonne. I think it was called Three Sisters. I need to check it out.
So she's doing what she does. But yeah, I think Bucky is Sebastian might be one of the best actors in the MCU. But now you got Yelena. So I don't know if you wouldn't put Bucky top 5?
Out of everybody that's been in the MCU?
That's in the MCU. We're not going because you just start naming niggas.
They had a lot of people. And they had some good talent.
Not saying all people like everybody from Black Panther. We're not doing this. We're not doing it.
It's not that I think he's not a good actor. I think he's a very good actor. But it's the character Bucky today. Do you think he can carry a movie solo?
I do.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't think Bucky today, his character is as interesting now that I would want to see them have their own series or show based around them. Now, who in the MCU can hit story?
You say so. They're gonna have somebody they play.
You remember the days where they didn't? You remember
like?
I mean, you had Thor and that was his brother. But no, it's one of the things where it's just like Cap just had Red Hulk. That's a pairing.
So him now, Cap. That's probably the last time you seen. We got Falcon too, though.
But then you had Thor: Love and Thunder. Like you had his villain, but he didn't have anyone extra with him.
His ex-girlfriend.
Sorry, nobody's looking at Queen Thor like that's a Jason. You know what I mean when I say that. A pairing is you had Doctor Strange and Spider-Man No Way Home. That is a pairing. And then you had all them extra fucking Spider-Mans, but I'll give you that. But like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, that is a pair. Hulk didn't have a pair outside of the people that were already in his storyline. You know what I mean? You know what I mean when I say a pairing. So for this movie, you had a lot of pairings. Now, some small, some large. And I'll say Elena's piece was a lot larger than Bucky's, in my opinion.
I mean, I feel like this story was her story. They're concluding the Black Widow story. Also, they're concluding the Hawkeye, which, I do feel as if she's been on this road. It's been the whole road of redemption, the whole grief-stricken, road. And how do you feel about Yelena coming back since, Black Widow was first? But since she's come back since Hawkeye.
I mean, she's one of the most new additions that we've gotten within the past couple of years. She's like a top 5 new addition, in my opinion. I enjoy her character and everything that she shows up, but I'm also a fan of Florence Pugh. Like, that bitch be doing her thing. Haley Stanfield, shout out to you and Sinners. She ain't no top 5. Was she? I don't know. Her and Helena, I like their pairing. I hope we get more of them together. They do really good on screen. But I would rather watch Helena have her own project. And that's somebody new. If like they gave her character her only project where she ain't got nobody with it, I think it'll be interesting.
I don't think they're gonna make a Black Widow movie.
I mean, they already got one. But my thing is, do you think Helena's character, if she got her own solo project, would you be excited to see it?
I don't know. I'm gonna see it. Am I gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? it's not nobody that I was looking for, but I enjoy the character. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, I'm not going to the movies to see XYZ. I wouldn't say that. That's kind of asinine. That's crazy for me to say.
If they made a movie for Bucky and they made a movie for Helena, who movie you gonna go see first?
Depends on what it's about.
No trailer. That's their own movie. Who are you gonna go see?
Based on I'm going Yelena.
I know.
I just don't want to say secret.
The truth. Y'all let us know whose movie you're gonna go see first. It's okay. Saying Helena does not have you betray Bucky. It's okay.
So, but so of course within this story, Yelena, of course, she's grief-stricken. She's alone. She's lonely. Sister's gone. Daddy ain't talking to her.
I didn't even mention her mama.
I don't know what happened to the mama. I don't know what happened to her. But how did you feel about her story that they were telling?
It kind of made you, or let me speak for myself. It kind of made me want to go back and watch Black Widow, just a little bit, because especially if you didn't see the movie Black Widow, definitely highly recommend checking that out. But it gave you more pieces of her background because you saw what Natasha went through. Elena was out here sabotaging her friends at baby age. She was like 6 years old. And then the fact that she was replaying that moment, that was dark. But that's what Hellsing like is about.
Yeah, that's one element of the movie I enjoy. Of course, we'll get into Bob, but we knew Ghost Story, so I'm looking at them like, why not show them? But if you go back to the Ant-Man and Wasp, it kind of tells you exactly what the issue was with her and why she was how she was.
Yeah.
Of course, we hadn't seen Fake Cap or Walker since Falcon and Winter Soldier, so this kind of gave him a look into his story as well. His I guess redemption arc, because he ain't been shit for the most part. It ain't been shit, so we don't know what's going on here. The one person we've been watching for 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 13 movies and know nothing about was Val, and we finally got a backstory to her.
She a snitch? Excuse me, wrong term. She talked too much.
What you talking about?
What, Val? You over here telling people where you live at? Because that's what it like when you saw her backstory.
Yeah, she was a kid. She got, but that's how it happened. That's how I'm like, man, what was she like with Anne Frank? But she wasn't that old.
She wasn't. Because I thought Val was supposed to be the next Fury.
I didn't think that.
I thought that's what the streets were saying, that she's supposed to be the next Nick Fury.
For the villains.
Well, yeah, but obviously not, because they trying to kill you. They don't trust you. Like, you just, I don't know. I wasn't, yeah, how Val was moving, it was dangerous. I feel like she should be smarter to be moving differently than how she was moving in this movie.
But her whole thing was tying up loose ends, and that's pretty much what the movie was. We're tying up loose ends. R.I.P. Taskmaster. Put your I don't know, put your task in the air. Put your bodies in the air.
Why you ain't got no bulletproof mask?
Was that a good death? I know you don't like gun deaths, but
I mean, it was different for the MCU.
Ghost smoked her ass. Ghost smoked her ass. Hey, shout out to her character.
That was a good kill.
Shout out to her character. This movie did make me appreciate them a bit more. Well, more so Ghost than Yelena. I mean, John, we kind of know.
Yeah.
You know what John brings to the table. Not much. The
MAGA shirt.
He an asshole. Just like I said, it's just an asshole.
He didn't even grow. That assholeness is why your family is gone.
But I guess that's where the redemption arc comes from. Now, one thing I don't like is how MCU play with they kind of play with the deaths a little bit, but I do appreciate Like I do appreciate when they, do the Yelena disappears thing. They jump right back into it. It's not a they don't let you sit, breathe. Because I'm like, damn, they should let David character, the Red Guardian, let him get his shit off a little bit.
Listen, I was so pissed off when they brought all them people back. I was.
You only said that you wanted that little girl to die.
Oh my God, when she got poofed away. I said, nigga, fuck them kids. I said, let's go dark. I was rooting so hard. And then y'all brought everybody back. Now, when Yelena character got the dust, I said, y'all niggas ain't getting me. I know that bitch is not dead.
At this point, it's not.
It's like,
because what could you have done with that nigga? There's nothing they could have done with that man.
No, there's not. Somebody else should have got white before her, just so we could sit. That would have made me believe, like, they really killing them in here. But you taking a key person, I was like, nah.
I do think, I do on a serious too. Gotta get serious with it. Just based on the movie, it is a lot of traumatic situations, and how people cope with them. And I do think it's to an extent, maybe I want to be careful what I say. Maybe suicide prevention to an extent, because even how they came to the end of it, which I get why people are saying it kind of reminds them of Guardians of the Galaxy and WandaVision, because that episode where she was going back through her childhood trauma, and she was talking to Vision, and he told her, what is grief without love persevering. It kind of felt like that in the whole thing. It was just like Yelena killed. She pretty much was telling us she leave. She don't want to be here no more. Ain't nothing. Daddy ain't messing with her. She lost her best friend. She only go home. She drinking. And like I said, when she was going through, just imagine you going through trauma rooms. Yeah. Like every situation, boom, you a kid, you got to get somebody killed. Like you said, 6, 7 years old. The next situation, you got to put a gun together, and if you don't, you get whipped. Next situation, she in the bathroom, drunk, hungover, just drinking herself to death. And, and these are things you going back and forth, and then we transition over into Bob, and his shit is, I don't want to compare traumas, but it's just as dark, just as fucked up. And his best room was him in a room watching his family get beat by his dad. How is that the best room you got? Of all the shit you could be, of all the things you was dealing with. So I do think the way this movie was written, I do think it was well. I think that part was well put together, as far as because it'll definitely tug at you. It'll definitely tug at you. Even when they got to the resolve of the film, how they had to film, like, man, what this shit is dark.
Yeah,
this shit is dark. But shit, yeah, Bob.
Man.
What did you think about? What do you think the introduction of Hulk Jr.?
I mean, I thought his transformation, I was just like, yo, Val, there's no reason for you to dye that man hair. She was like, no, this is what the people need. But like his relationship that him and Yelena was building, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to be beneficial later down the line. Like, you got fake Cap being an asshole, and Yelena is just like trying to save him. And so he was just innocent, and Val was using his trauma and to manipulate him. And then he was just like, well, if I'm so powerful, why do I need you? And I'm like, yeah, Val, that's normally how that goes. You try to tell somebody they're top of the world, they don't need to take instructions. When he was just like, a guy doesn't need to listen. She was like, whoa. She was like, you getting a little ahead of yourself. I didn't say you're a god. He said, well, you said I'm stronger than the Avengers, which had a god.
That was a bar.
And that was when Val said, like, you can see her energy deflate, because she said, damn, he got me. It's like that person when you got the ace of spades and you like, I forgot the big joker ain't been played yet. And now that book is gone. Damn. So, yeah.
It was a bar. That was a bar.
He was cool. I mean, I was curious about what was going to happen to him to make him snap.
Now he kind of right now he's giving me Hulk vibes, and I don't like that per se. But at the same time, you don't want to have this overpowering, dominating force the entire time. 'Cause at some point, how do we? Because in that, I'm looking at it like, how do we get to a point where he can control that and just use that?
Right.
Because then, who is he gonna be fighting with those powers that can even fight with him?
Because I'm sitting here like, you can only defeat him is to connect with him emotionally. Because ain't none of y'all got no powers for real. You just got 2 super soldiers, and that's it. And the super soldier, like, you got super strength and you can get your ass beat, but y'all ain't got no powers.
It's 3 super soldiers.
Okay, 3. But Red Guardian,
You not counting him?
I'm gonna give him a half. 75.3%. But Yelena getting thrown around like a fucking rag doll. Shout out to her for still getting up. But yeah, I'm curious about where his character is gonna go. I thought with him, his dark side was scary as shit. After seeing Sinners, and I thought the eyes like really fucked me up. Because the thing is, like, when I see those eyes, I immediately go to Michael Flanagan. Because he uses those eyes a lot in all of his projects. And then Ryan Coogler did a different type of form in Sinners. So seeing it here with an all black entity. Did you yell out nigga when you saw him turn all black?
That was the yeah, this shit.
I was like, that's scary. He looks scarier than Thor's villain, Gore.
Yeah, that was kind of insane.
Because I don't like have any background information on Sentry. Are you familiar with? Damn. See, this is why we need Anthony, one of our geeks from Talking Ish. Anthony would have let us know the background, the history.
That's why that's why this works a lot better, because I can just get the information from the movies. The movie's gonna give whatever I need. If I want to look it up or do some background information, if I want it, I can go get it. But I'm cool with what I know for now. I'm gonna get.
Does it make you want to go do research on him?
It does. It does. I mean, they say he's one of the most powerful villains. So everybody was saying, how they gonna stop him in the movie?
This could have been a really good introduction for Gia from Secret Invasion.
It's over.
I'm just sitting here like, so we supposed to forget them?
Yes. They trying to make you forget.
What if after Doomsday or Secret Wars, they get motherfucking Jay from Men in Black, Will Smith, and he put up that shit and he just, and it just, forget everything that we saw prior to that.
That'll be hard. That'll be hard.
Niggas would be sick. They would be mad. Because it's just like, what do we need to forget for real? Would you respect Marvel if they said, okay, so we made a few past decisions. It's going to look like plot holes. So we want you to forget these things ever happened. And if Gia from Secret Invasion was on that list, to where they like, there's no references coming for this, so just forget it ever happened.
You know, actually, Secret Invasion, it stops after Gravik kills Kobe. That's the end. That's the end of that story. Because even in the Marvels, they don't pick up none of that.
I feel like the reshoots though, because I feel like they recorded that in different time. Like it was out of order, but then you had Daredevil mention scrolls.
Yeah. So it's
they said anybody what? Ain't nobody saying anything about Garrick or whatever.
Gravik, I mean, we have to do.
Like nobody mentioned that. Were they in a major city?
He was in New York. He was in a lot of majors. The explosion was like in a major country. I mean, out of country.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. So, I guess of course, you know, Val is trying to get the team to kill each other so she can, you know, get out her stuff clean. She put them basically literally in the incinerator, to burn them up. And of course, as they're escaping, you see, everybody makes a grand gesture or a big move, to help each other out. Yelena has her moment. Bob has a thought. that gets them out of a tunnel. Of course, Ghost. She's doing ghost shit. Whatever she doing. What's the guy? He does an asshole move. Walker does an asshole move. But then Bob finally has his moment. He helps and he gets lit the fuck up. What do you think about what did you think of that?
Where he get abs from? You've been chilling in a basement, my nigga. People forgot about you, and you just got abs.
Man, I really enjoyed this scene. Him, him him getting shot, taking off. He kind of felt Superman-ish to an extent.
And then he just came back down.
He just fucking passed out. That would be a terrible power to have. Like you can go crazy, but I guess that's a great way to do it too. Because you don't want to if you just have that overpower. It's like Captain Marvel. We look at Captain Marvel like she's this overpowering person. She's gonna be able to do X, Y, Z, whatever she wants to, but they gotta be able to minimalize it. Can't just have that motherfucker in that bitch just because then it'd be that doesn't make it good. Just like Superman, it don't make it good. It doesn't make a good movie if everybody they can overpower, they can run through everybody. It has to be some type of struggle, some type of issue. So currently, it's him trying to figure it out, but he gets shot. He takes off. And I was like, oh man, this is beautiful. So some of them's kind of trash. Some of the CGI, it kind of look kind of crazy. Like his head was just floating up in there in the clouds like that. They fixed it, but I really enjoyed this scene.
And I thought it was cool. It ain't no takeaway scene for me from the movie. I'll say that. I was just like, okay.
What was your takeaway scene?
Ooh. When them niggas said, all right, so we just got our asses beat, collect all the bodies, we gotta leave. After Sentry beat their ass in his upstairs in the old Avengers building, they got on the elevator and they left. Him and Val up there. I said, I've never seen heroes get their asses beat and collect their dead and get in the elevator before. I said that was as humble as hell. And then they get outside and they do their hero shit, and then Sentry starts, I thought, killing people, but obviously sending them to their trauma. Which, I mean, shit, some people can say that's hell on earth for real. But, yeah. I mean, did you have a favorite scene? Oh, your favorite scene was when he got shot up by the military?
So him getting shot was I feel like that was a great scene. Also, the final scene where he finally faces himself. Him facing the darkness that he's been kind of, he's been hiding.
So it's like but as he was going to it, it was consuming him. So does that say don't fuck with the darkness?
Yeah, I mean, I felt as if it was the darkness wants you to come to the side, but you have to remain. I don't. So at that point, I don't know what it is you have to remain at that, because Yelena kind of Yelena told him in the beginning, regardless of what you're going through, you don't deal with it. You just bury it.
Which is
she was
terrible advice.
Don't you gotta let it out. You gotta let that go. Be able to do it. And then they have to basically, how they brought him back, which I said that kind of felt like Guardians of the Galaxy, especially the first one where they had to hold hands in a group
as a family.
They bring them together as a family, which I like. I like as far as enjoying. Who do you think better group, Avengers, first movie, or Thunderbolts?
Avengers. Who you got?
I like the chemistry more here in Thunderbolt. I think the chemistry. Now, if it's a team fighting, of course, it's too much on the Avengers. But as far as chemistry with each other, yeah.
Who do you think chemistry is better between the Thunderbolts, the Avengers, or the Guardians?
Definitely the Guardians.
That was the right answer.
Definitely the Guardians. Yeah, I think we can't. Nothing to beat that.
Okay, yeah, because if you would have asked me a Guardians, like which was a better group, the Guardians or the Thunderbolts, I'm like, Right answer is the Guardians. Like, what?
Yeah, we do have some carryover from Cap 4 Brave New World. Cap is not happy that they have a new Avengers. He's going for copyrights.
But see, the thing is, like, didn't the president, before he got Hulk, said, "I want you to be the leader of the next Avengers." It's like you got people offering up a job to the same position to multiple people. Now, Red Hulk is no longer the president, and Val out here fighting for her own job, pissing people off. I just
So within this film, was there an expectation that was missed, or was it something in the film you felt it lacked for you?
Outside of the post-credit scene,
Which very overrated in my opinion.
you think the post-credit scene was overrated?
I felt it was very overrated. I'm not gonna. So look, I'm gonna tell you, man. When the night of when Thunderbolts happened, my arch nemesis showed up. She pulled up. Jodie Thomas-Smith. She was at the premiere. So I blocked everything I could. I'm like, oh my God, she's Storm. That's the first thing the guy said. Oh my God, she's Storm, and she's in this ink. I don't know how they gonna do that, but I'm like, I'm already going into like we getting an X-Men post credit scene. This is gonna be fucking crazy. This is gonna be, but then you gonna get it. It's Fantastic Four. That's already expected.
That's what you get. But no. Fantastic Four is in a different time. It's in a different timeline. And it's in the past.
I guess but for me, it's still, I guess it's like, I expect this to happen because it's coming.
But I think they're showing you how they're going to be connected. Yeah. Yes.
Which makes sense.
So,
because I felt as if, I feel like it's going to be a multiverse thing where they have to do something and they have to come back over, and that's where the issue will begin.
Do you think it was possibly a missed opportunity since, let's just say, because we haven't seen Fantastic Four yet, but I believe it's in a different time, on a different timeline. Let's just say it's on a different timeline, and some events and shit get fucked up, and they're in the past as well. Do you think Fantastic Four should have dropped before Thunderbolts, looking at the post-credit scene? To where if you would have saw Fantastic Four first,
then I'd be like, oh shit.
To where Fantastic Four would have ended, where you just like, well, how the fuck y'all about to connect this to any other movies on a different?
Yeah, I think that would have. So now whatever the Fantastic Four end credit is going to be,
I think that's going to give you context to the shit that you saw.
I feel like, so I've never seen the trailer for Fantastic Four. I've never watched it. I seen it tonight. So I feel like whatever in that story, something happened to the wife, whatever, and he's trying to create some kind of but he's trying to create some kind of formula, and I feel like that the formula he's making is time travel. That's what I think is happening based on that trailer. And that's how we get to that. So whatever the end credit scene is, matter of fact, do you think there's going to be two things? Do you think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in this movie?
Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
No. I don't.
If he is in it.
It'll catch me by surprise, but I don't think he's going to be in there because we have Galactus. Are we going to get a reference, though? Yes. I can see him popping up in a post-credit scene. I feel like you're going to have a pointless post-credit scene and you're going to have a very important post-credit scene.
Yeah. I've never seen a Fantastic Four movie, so I feel like you can't do that movie without having a Doom in it.
Are you going to watch the first 3 Fantastic Four movies before the new Fantastic Four movie drops? Yes, it really passes. There's somebody out there that's like, don't watch that bullshit. His name is Ivy.
And then
But
somebody saying, yes, we have to watch them.
it's just for context. So
what
can
context
you?
I need?
So can you make a Fantastic Four movie without Doom? Yes. Ooh, maybe not.
So,
I haven't seen one.
Wait. First off, you can make anything without anybody. So I've seen Venom movies without Spider-Man. There's Craven movies without them.
Stop. They weren't good. You can make them, but you're really naming movies that weren't good. Somebody is out there. It's like, well, they should have had Spider-Man. That shit would have been better.
That's it. I mean, because it's some things, some pairings, as we said in the top of the episode. Yes, you need these niggas to be.
You can make a Penguin project without Batman, and that shit be successful.
You made a Penguin without a Batman. You made a Joker without a Batman. But
you made a Loki without Thor.
It's just
you made an Agatha without Wanda.
Agatha, I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you Agatha. I'll give you Agatha.
You had Loki without Thor.
So with Loki
had his own original story and project. You didn't need that pairing because he was able to carry it on his own.
But I feel like, Loki has been there as long as Thor has, so it's kind of that's a. It's not because he was in Thor, Thor 2. He was in Avengers. He was in Infinity War. We've grown to like and enjoy Loki and him trying to figure out
he was in Infinity War for 5 fucking minutes and then he got his neck broke. He was not an Endgame though. Shit happens. Oh, he was an Endgame. He was in the past.
Yeah, he was
in Flash. Yeah.
That's how we fucking got Loki.
But you didn't need Thor in the Loki series for it to be successful. So I was about to ask you a question, but damn it. No, it was about Secret Invasion and the whole Gia thing. So we're not sure exactly.
No más Secret Invasion. No more.
So with Cap, and they had references to him. Do you think they did a good job with how they did Cap for Thunderbolts of where these stories were? Like, do you think these 2 movies helped us move the story along to get to Doomsday?
I do. It moves the story along as far as worldly or the at least Earth things, because Cap 4 was about, we don't have if something was to happen, which it introduces one threat. Both of these movies introduced 2 threats that we had we had nothing for. The Thinker, Hulk, Sentry. 3. It gives us 3 things that we really didn't have anything for, and it's like, bro, you need help. If something like this really had, and you got hurt in this situation, you was able to stop this, but if you weren't, what happens in that situation? So that's where it's like, hey, you need to get the Avengers back together. Whatever that may look like for you, get them, bring them together.
We ain't got no heroes right now.
And that's pretty much what I feel like both of them are addressing within there. Like you had, of course, in Captain America, they almost had World War III that he had to prevent. You do have that, but then you have the whole, fight between them 2. Between Cap and him, but then in this one you have Sentry. You have nothing for it. There is no thing like that, and of course you got Val, who, pulling a cloak over people's faces, which Yelena said we own you in that situation. So then they get introduced as the new Avengers. In this, you're not feeling that new Avengers stuff.
I'm like, where are we going with this? I don't know.
They're gonna be there. They're gonna be there to help.
So it seems like they had their own path created, but didn't help or build on any other paths that we already had. That's what it kind of felt like.
What are you talking about?
So like just their group, like there's no and I know it's just you don't always need to see the pieces connect and all of that. And it seemed like the only piece that kind of connected was a post-credit scene, which connects to the Fantastic Four. But with all of this happening in New York, we think about what's happening in New York right now. You got Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen, that's going to shit. Spider-Man, who knows where the fuck he's at, but and so and then the Young Avengers, I don't know. It just seemed like everybody got a bunch of shit happening.
But I mean, I think that's what it's about, though. I think all these things happening is why people are doing it, because they just keep it above. The end of what was that? Marvels. We got the Young Avengers. That's what they talking about on there, the Young Avengers. But also in Daredevil, they talk about the Young Avengers in there as well. Because Kamala is in San Francisco, where Cassie is. That's what she stays at. She's in San Francisco, so she's out there recruiting for the Young Avengers. But then you also have Daredevil, which I don't know how they're going to introduce Daredevil.
I don't think he's going to get introduced.
I think so. I mean, he's already been introduced. I
don't think with these next two projects that we get,
he's gonna be in them.
I don't think he's gonna be in them. Now, where's Riri located? Because that's nobody. She ain't gonna be no parent. It's just gonna be her.
So you have so then you got the Defenders. They could bring them together because of the things that are happening in New York. With this coming on right after Daredevil, I mean, it's kind of easy to skip over, but we hope maybe they'll talk about the stuff that happened in New York and the next season of Daredevil. I don't know. I feel like sometimes some of that stuff should be connected. That stuff should be connected.
Yeah,
because it's just like the scrolls being made. There's just a little bit. Just a little bit of things. Just like, dang, okay, y'all are watching y'all own shit too. Like we watched it. We want to hear it. We want to hear it sometimes.
Make sure it's not just us. We want to see y'all talk about that stuff too. Like, oh shit, so y'all do remember the scrolls? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I remember y'all. You remember that one storyline y'all forgot?
Right.
Like, where's White Vision? Oh,
Hello.
No, I don't care, man.
I'm still looking for you, Vision.
Yeah, show
Wonder Man.
I think he's in that.
Vision's in that?
I think he's in that.
Oh shit!
In the comics, Word on the Street, I don't know. In the Word on the Street, there's a love triangle between Vision, Wonder Man, and Wanda.
White Vision or regular Vision?
I'm not gonna, either way, it's White Vision has Vision's mind. He has his mind.
He ain't got his body though.
It's him though. It's still him.
But he white though now.
He
ain't got no color.
He's different, but he's still him. He got his mind, his thoughts, his feelings.
You think he add any color?
He might be able to. I don't know.
He wouldn't. Give him a white hoodie.
They say y'all did a lot of his own stunts in that show too. So.
I'm excited for that. I think that's the end of the year.
December. We got 2 black shows coming. Riri show. Hopefully Riri show was good. I wish it was something that let me not do that because the show was written by black women. I don't want to erase what they got going on. I just like Ryan Coogler. So shout out to him for giving this character the light of day, where they'll even do it to get this person on TV screen. Hopefully it does a great job. I feel like I don't know how people feel about the character because of course she does come after the death of Tony Stark in the comic books. So I don't know how they feel about a black girl taking the mantle.
Probably hate it. Just like when they saw a black man take the shield, they gonna hate it for real.
Why they fuck with Miles?
Oh, he's not all the way black, and he's animated, so it's like live action nigga. I hate it. Animated, I can deal with it.
The comedy in this. I think they scaled it back.
Y'all. So we went to go see this movie. We fresh out of the theater. Jason was in that bitch laughing, y'all. That nigga was laughing at Red Guardian like crazy. I'm sitting there like enjoying it. I hear this motherfucker laughing hard as hell. You say you had a good time at school.
I enjoyed myself. Did you want to fuck with the comedy?
I wasn't laughing like that. I was like, all right.
There's some jokes. There was put some adult jokes in there. And I just don't want them every other moment trying to be funny. Like just make a movie. Shit happens that's funny.
Did you feel like it was a lot of funny moments in it that was forced?
I don't know. I feel like Bob had most of the moment. It was just more so like awkwardness. I don't think it was a forced, because John would have been. I don't think so. Yelena is just like a smart, witty motherfucker anyway, so she don't say whatever. We got more Ghost personality, so I agree. Like I said, Ghost. Like for me, let me ask you, top 3 people of the movie for you.
Yelena, of course. I fuck with Bob. Bob was cool. I ain't fuck with Cap though, fake Cap. I ain't like him. Ain't one that many people. So I guess I'll throw Ghost in there.
Yeah, I fuck with that character. I'm on the fence between Ghost and I think the underrated hero Red Guardian. That shit when he just pulled up in the middle of nowhere. That shit was kind of
Yo, she said she got her hand up like shit. We out in the middle of the desert. No. But
that nigga just pulled up in the middle of nowhere. So.
He had his own limo service.
That fucking car was $50. I'm not paying. I wasn't paying that.
I wish they would have at least referenced his wife. Yeah. She didn't die in Black Widow.
Maybe she didn't come back in next movie.
Because it's one of the things where it's just like, okay, make it seem like, okay, you haven't heard from your dad, your sister's dead, but we saw you battling with your mama. Where is her character? I don't know. Sometimes it seems like they create these storylines and bring these characters in and they never have you reference them back to where it's like, we didn't forget about them. Just drop a line of like, mother went on this mission and she's undercover or some shit. I ain't heard nothing from her.
She died on the mission.
Something to where you can easily wrap it up if you don't bring her back in future projects. But I mean, I don't know. Well, at least try to write these people off. But I feel like it's just like we might go back to them, so let's not say anything permanent. But to never acknowledge them, I think is unfortunate.
If I had to ask you, where would this movie rank? Post Endgame. Does it rank?
I don't know if I would say like right now, I don't think it would be a top 5. No. Post Endgame? No. Because then I would think, not trying to say it's trash or anything like that, but I had a lot more enjoyment from other projects than this one. What about you? Where are you putting it?
It would be 5. I think it may be 5 if I was to, like I said, because it's not better than Wakanda Forever.
No.
It's not better than Guardians 3.
Nope.
It's not better than No Way Home.
Nope. It's
not better than Shang-Chi. And that's where once you get there, that's when I'm like, this is me removing TV shows. This is just the movies that hit the film. It's better than Ant-Man the Corner and Ant-Man 3.
It might be, but didn't some niggas die over there? The fact they didn't keep them people dead kind of fucked me up in this movie. You should have kept all them people dead.
What about Marvels?
I had a lot. Oh. The Marvels was fun to me. Like, this was fun, but I had more fun over there. Like, that musical sequence, that had me laughing in the theater. I don't give a fuck if you didn't laugh. I laughed. I had a good time with that shit. I was like, oh, shit. Like, I rock with Monica and all of them. So, and that post-credit scene was fire. So, like, realistically, I think the Marvels probably had one of the best post-credit scenes post-Endgame.
Okay. I will agree. I will agree with that. I wouldn't debate that at all.
Where are you putting? You said so you got this at 5.
This may be at 5.
Okay.
It may be at 5. Just thinking about all the movies that came out. You got Eternals, you got Black Widow.
Bro, Far From Home and No Way Home was after Endgame. I fucked with Far From Home. Jake Gyllenhaal was a crazy villain. Yeah.
But did you have any other scene in the movie that you want to discuss about?
I do want to say, this movie was good. Oh, we ain't got that. Oh.
You don't have the same shit. We here. Wrap this bitch up.
Somebody gonna be like, damn, 50 minutes? What?
It is what it is. It's a live reaction after the film. Like, what you niggas want to do?
We just gave y'all 2 weeks worth of Sinners.
3, motherfucker. You got me.
You extended it 3 weeks? Nah.
It's at least 3 weeks. I haven't even began editing.
I thought it was 2 episodes.
It is 2 episodes, but it's enough for 3 weeks.
Niggas was talking. It was a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about.
And once we finish, we still have shit to talk about.
It was kind of crazy.
This is pretty cut and dry, short and sweet.
We didn't have enough time to let this marinate in our minds. Like,
it's marinated.
I might rewatch it and be like, you know what? My appreciation for it has definitely went up.
If you rewatch, we got a whole podcast. You can tell us again. Tell us later.
I will be like, yeah, I still feel the same fucking way.
We don't want to hear that one though.
Oh.
You can do that in the episode when we start one. You like, yeah, this it needs extra thoughts, extra feelings. Then yeah,
It was cool. I mean, but it was like, okay, I left out of there. Like, is it no best thing since Endgame? No, but we done went through all that. But was it good though? Yes, it was. What would you give it at? Oh, Jason, was it good though?
it was. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was, well done, well put together. Yeah. If I had to give it 7 out of 10.
You said 7?
I think 7 out of 10 because 6 is like I wouldn't watch it again. 7, I definitely would watch it again. 8, I gave Sinners an 8. So yeah, it's not. It is like a crazy above and beyond 8. But like 7, it ain't. It's not a terrible 7. 7 is great actually. Oh.
Which movie was better?
Oh, 7.
7.
Oh, man, they gotta do that. You gotta do that.
Okay.
You gotta play like that. Oh, you gotta test my black card right there.
Yeah, I did. I tried. I was gonna say Senators as well, but that hit me culturally. So. I did not do any. What did you think though? Since this movie just came out, we normally drop as soon as a Marvel movie drop. But we are on location. We are traveling. So yeah, me and Jason at least do one of these once a year. We've been keeping that up. That's what's up.
Yay us!
But
Megathon?
Yes, we are because we did not do one last week. We didn't do
too many people too long, and I couldn't. I had to make an executive decision.
I respect it.
No.
League of Thrones. Who do you have for Thunderbolts?
Go. I'm going to go with Lewis Pullman. He played Bob. He was in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh wow. Wow.
Who you got?
I am going to go Wyatt Russell, who is U.S. agent. He was in Black Mirror.
Who is this?
Kurt Russell's
he was
son.
What, play test? No.
No, it might have been play test because that's when he did the whole demo thing.
Yeah. Shit, the trauma field episode. It ain't like trauma.
Yeah, he gotta hug him tight.
Kurt, bring that boy home.
Well, we saw what kind of father he was. You saw what you did to Star-Lord. Him and his dad in the MCU. That's crazy.
And they in the Godzilla universe.
Yeah, that's what's up.
It's kind of hard though because he's playing his dad present. Well, back in the day, and his dad's playing. So it's dope. Too bad we do with your dad.
It is. That's what's up. We need more folks like that.
Would you have anything else with people you want to discuss, talk about?
No. Definitely thank you so much for everybody who listens and watches our episodes. Yes. This was episode 154. Thunderbolts with an asterisk. I am Jazz.
I am Jason.
And this is the WasItGoodTho podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. New episodes drop every what? Motherfucking Tuesday. Gang. Sinners does not have every single sin in it. Regardless of what the streets tell you or those alleys and those fucking dirt roads.
We don't want to hear that shit.
Not there.
We don't want to hear that fuck shit no more.